you know what I mean, it's time to go to work, you know? And when we go to work, y'all know what comes after that.
Well, I see their weakness. That's what I do. You know, we broke the code with with Loma that nobody had ever done. You know, we didn't let him get comfortable in there. You saw that, you know, within like 8 rounds, he didn't know what to do. I did the same thing with Josh Taylor, and we're gonna do the same thing with Shakur.
This is the fight that I've been kind of waiting for my entire life. I didn't have to make this fight. This fight, I could have just stayed at 135 pounds, sat comfortable at 35. I don't feel like no fighter at 135 can beat me. I made this fight happen because I know Teo is one of the guys at 140.
Tension boiled over at the press conference when Terrence Crawford lost his patience and went head-to-head with Teofimo Lopez Sr. Crawford didn't mince words, issuing a blunt warning that Shakur Stevenson is the kind of fighter who can seriously damage opponents once the bell rings, and that his son would feel it.
We want a competitive fight. We do this for the fans, you know. Ever since my son started this, you know, I told him, you know, this is it.
Crawford wasn't buying it. Speaking with certainty, he reminded everyone that Shakur is one of the hardest fighters in the sport to beat. Elite skills, sharp ring IQ, calm under fire, and the rare ability to control fights without forcing them. That combination, Crawford said, is what separates Shakur from the rest.
He last one of them. Stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Unfazed, Teofimo Lopez Sr. pushed back with confidence. He claimed his team has dissected Shakur style frame by frame and believes they've uncovered clear openings they plan to exploit on fight night.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division, and be the last man standing given the opportunity.
Lopez Sr. doubled down, promising that Shakur won't be allowed to settle into his rhythm. He predicted the same fate for Stevenson as other high-profile opponents Teofimo has already conquered, confidently declaring the outcome decided before fight night even arrives.
Be a great fight. I want everybody to come and see it. If you can't, just watch it on TV.
You've had to come up with some good game plans over the years to beat some great fighters, Lomachenko, Taylor, among them. How difficult is this man, Shakur Stevenson, to prepare for?
Well, I see their weakness. That's what I do. We broke the code with with Loma that nobody had ever done. We didn't let him get comfortable in there. You saw that, within like 8 rounds, he didn't know what to do. I did the same thing with Josh Taylor, and we're gonna do the same thing with Shakur.
Behind the scenes, Terrence Crawford has been a constant presence in Shakur's camp. The two train regularly, sharpening technique, refining strategy, and pushing each other through demanding sessions as the fight draws closer.
I almost missed that one. There it go. 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 God, here it go, bro. He trying to run me into the wall. Y'all didn't see that? He trying. Man, I performed. You know that? I told y'all what I was gonna do. I was gonna come out here and beat his ass every game. And look, he's thinking about saying, let's play again.
That confidence sparked a reaction. Shakur fired back at the podium, confronting Lopez Sr. directly and making it clear he doesn't respect anyone speaking or fighting battles on behalf of their son. The moment turned personal, and the tension spiked instantly.
Oh, man, you out of your mind.
Okay.
My son fought without no air. My son fought without no air against Cambosis.
You can't fight for your son. You can't fight for your son.
You gonna tell me, man, come on.
You can't fight for your son.
I bet you gonna quit.
Okay.
Through all the noise, Shakur remains locked in, His focus hasn't wavered. Championship goals, strict discipline, and full commitment to the game plan. Every detail matters, and he's determined to deliver his sharpest performance yet.
Went up to 140, I said, let me get the Ring Magazine champion. Let's fight that guy. Let's fight the guy that's the guy. And all that more pressure stuff don't mean nothing. As long as I'm like locked in and I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. Honestly, for a minute before Devin went and did it, none of them could say they was really 3-weight world champion. So now for me to go to the 4th and the next level is a different type of thing. And a lot of people got to respect me, because at the end of the day, if they don't respect me, they don't got no choice.
Analyst Henry pointed to Teofimo's loss against George Kambosos Jr. as a revealing case study. Lopez's low lead hand can be useful for disrupting opponents, but when he presses aggressively, it becomes a liability. Kambosos recognized it early, letting Lopez step forward before timing precise counters.
Teofimo Lopez has a bit of an issue. It's something that it's not always an issue, but it's something that certain fighters can turn into a weakness for him, and it's something that is a weakness for him when he fights the way he did in this fight. And that is the low lead hand that he has. It's great when you are trying to set things up. It can be really good when you're jabbing because it's out of your opponent's eye line very often. They can't see it coming. But when you're being this aggressive, it simply does not work, in my opinion. There were multiple times in this fight where George Kambosos just let Teo come to him and caught him with powerful, aggressive counter punches. I'd say that Kambosos found his range and his timing very, very quickly in this fight, and I'm just going to show you a couple of moments here in round 1 that really stood out to me where Teofimo Lopez was being exceptionally aggressive. So you can see with this lead hook here that George Kambosos lands as a counter punch. It's a very, very key shot for anyone who is facing Teofimo Lopez, and I'm just going to break it down for you now. So the thing about Teofimo Lopez is, because he can...
Henry broke down a crucial first-round exchange, where a perfectly timed counter hook exposed Lopez's forward lunge. Teofimo often loads his front foot, shuffles in with a pendulum motion, and drops his hands low. While his chin stays tucked, the stance sacrifices balance. Kambosos took full advantage, checking with the left hook, circling out, then later landing a thunderous overhand right that rocked Lopez and rattled his corner.
Expect someone to really attack you from that range in boxing, but he does. And the thing about the way he does this is there's usually a bit of a tell. So watch here. What he does is he takes a step first to load that front foot, which then permits the pendulum step. It allows him to shuffle in, and I'll show you what I mean by that as you're watching here. Let me just undo that. 2 small arrows is what I'm looking for. So watch here. Leans on that front foot, and then he goes with the pendulum. Back foot in, lead foot forward, and he lands in this position here. Now you can see the problem with this position here is that his balance is going to be hard to get because his feet are so wide and his hands are low. So whilst his chin is tucked in, that's good. His hands are low. And as he throws, Kambosos has that lead hand ready and waiting. Watch what happens here. He quickly leans back, he fires that check left hook, and he gets out. Beautiful work. Now, the other moment that we need to see from this one is probably the most dramatic moment of his career, where he landed an absolutely huge counter overhand right. And it definitely shocked Teofimo Lopez. It was what caused all the panic in the corner. I don't think he thought he could get.
Former champion Regis Prograis believes Shakur holds both the mental and technical edge. While acknowledging Lopez's athletic gifts, Prograis stressed that raw talent alone doesn't win at the highest level. He noted Lopez's tendency to fluctuate during fights, brilliant in flashes, inconsistent over rounds. Shakur, by contrast, stays patient, disciplined, and composed, adjusting without panic. Prograis sees Stevenson's calm mindset and fight IQ as the deciding factors.
Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, that definitely makes sense. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
I got Shakur for sure. Shakur.
Do you think he wins this comfortably, or do you think it'll be a close fight?
I think he wins it comfortably, yeah. I think he wins it comfortably. I think, Shakur, I think the thing is about Teo is very good athletically, but he's weak-minded. You can see in some fights he struggles. Teo does struggle. Now he does come up for big fights. Lomachenko, he came up. Josh Taylor, he came up. But a lot of fights, man, he struggles in. He does struggle on a whole lot of fights and stuff. Like, I think he looked good. Yeah, he looked good against Barboza. But like I said, for the most part, Teo does struggle. And I think he struggles mentally with a lot of things. But I think with Shakur, I think Shakur's gonna break him. I think maybe the first two or three rounds, it might be a close fight. You know, it might be close. It might be 2-1 or something like that. But
Teofimo Lopez himself struck a relaxed tone when discussing training. He admitted he's been keeping things light, enjoying the process, staying loose in the gym, and focusing on feeling good rather than grinding nonstop.
to that, I feel like you know, Shakur is probably gonna start stepping up, and Tia's gonna try to hit him, and it's not gonna work. And then Shakur might start. The thing about Shakur is a very good, a real good counterpuncher, really sharp, real sharp with the counterpunch. He sneaks those punches in, you know, and that's the ones that hurt the most when he just sneaking them in when you're not supposed to hit him. So I definitely feel like, I feel like Shakur is gonna beat him comfortably. Now, not knockout, but comfortable 12 rounds for sure.
Have you sparred Lopez before?
I never sparred Tio, though. Never sparred.
Michael Conlon called the matchup one of the most thrilling fights boxing can offer right now. On paper, it's elite versus elite, two highly skilled fighters with contrasting strengths. Stevenson's tactical brilliance against Lopez's explosive power creates a stylistic clash that could test every layer of skill, resilience, and strategy. Conlon believes unpredictability is what makes this fight must-see.
About the fight? I don't know, man. I feel. You've been playing these little mind games. I love it. And the little interviews.
I'm just having fun, man. I'm just being fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The boxing world needs that too. The promotion, they just put out the Versace interview, right? And we wanted to see that early, right when you guys did it.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing real good, though. They're promoting it well right now.
You like how they're promoting it? You think it's like they were talking about this like the leaders of the new school? That's how you feel?
I mean, it's got to be. Ain't nobody else doing it like we do.
Antonio Tarver urged fans not to oversimplify the matchup by focusing only on Lopez's recent performances. He argued that Lopez's athleticism, power, and instincts make him dangerous for anyone when applied correctly. Records don't always capture the full picture.
Yeah, I mean, smart money would be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But, if Lopez can make this fight, a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Yeah, a big question is always like what Tio is going to show up. And like when everyone's counted out Tio, it's actually been the times where he's like upset people, like against Lomachenko or against Josh.
At the same time, Tarver praised Shakur's technical mastery and ability to dictate pace. To him, this fight isn't about past wins. It's about adjustments, strategy, and mental control under pressure. The outcome will belong to the fighter who successfully enforces his identity in the ring.
Fights to the level of his competition. And I've been thinking like, hey, if we get the best version of Tio, like the Tio that showed up for those fights, does that Tio beat the best Shakur?
It would have, I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him. Being able to get inside, a lot of times he fights free. He don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say. A live underdog. But if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably stop Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to hit him with something. And let's hope Shakur's hand.
Gary Anchuan Russell offered insight into Shakur's camp, emphasizing the structure and intensity behind the scenes. Every session is calculated, from technical drills to conditioning to situational sparring, all designed to sharpen both physical tools and mental toughness.
That's when one person stay in the middle and they just spot everybody that one person stay in while they keep That's what that was. That's what I was doing. It wasn't just Shakur there. It was Shakur there. Richard Hitcherson's was there. He didn't want to spar. Who else was there? I want to say what? Keyshawn brother was there. Keyshawn Davis' brother was there, but he was just there as a spectator. I was about to spar with Troy Isley. Right. Did some rounds with Troy.
You sparred all of them.
Not Keyshawn brother. That was another day. But they was all there. All of them was there. That whole little camp. And there was another gym that was there too. So it was like 2 gyms that came to give us some work.
According to Russell, Shakur approaches each day with purpose. Sparring mirrors real fight scenarios, forcing constant adaptation and sharp decision-making. The camp pushes growth without sacrificing composure, reinforcing the traits that have fueled Shakur's rise. The message is clear. He's prepared for everything Lopez brings.
In the middle, and I did my rounds, boom. Did 6, hopped out, did 6 more. No, did 7 more straight. 6, hopped out, did 7 straight, boom. And the rounds that y'all seen with Shakur was the ass in my last round.
Oh, back end. The back end.
Yeah, that was the last round. That was the last round. And I'm like, all right. And they was doing like 3, hop out, or 2 and hop out, 2 and hop. So they was fresh. Who was fresh? And it was before the Olympics. Motherfuckers is getting that grown man strength and that beefy body now. Like, come on, bro. But like I said before, still stands. Skills pays the bills. So you can be strong and big. If I'm going to outskill you, then I'm going to outskill you.
Yeah, we just saw that with Canelo and Terrence. Man.
Exactly.
So the question stands. Does this moment align perfectly for one fighter? Or will pressure reshape everything? That's it for today's breakdown. Stay locked in, and we'll see you next time.